Uh, here to introduce you to Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage 100%, which is going to be run by our very own Rui. And I'm actually going to be here to stay because I'm going to be helping him out with some commentary.
Yeah, tired old me can't handle it by myself.
Hey, it's all good, man. Do you want to just hop right into it? You ready?
Sure thing. Do I need to count this down?
I can count you down if you want. Does it make your life?
Alright. Sure thing, sure thing.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
So, this is S2 100%. It's going to be quite odd at first. When you think of like 100% in the game, you usually imagine like someone would go through like all the levels and just complete them straight away. We're not necessarily going to be doing that. Rather, we're going to be wanting to get to Ripto as quick as possible, so we can get all the like power-ups straight away. And there's going to be quite a lot of movement tech that we're going to be using in this run.
Nice.
First thing is double jumping. Double jumping helps us a lot with getting out of bounds. The second thing is flame charging, especially with like baskets and stuff. It's quite nice to do because it helps us pick up the gems a little bit faster. I don't think I'm really missing out too much other than that. For the most part, that's what makes up this run. There's some things like in between the levels that you'll see, but
We'll point those out as they come up. Right now, a lot of what you're going to be seeing is flame charging, pick up the gems, and also it's going to be using the length of this flame to light these lamps. Usually you would have to kill a certain amount of enemies to get a power-up, but it's actually possible to reach the lamps without that power-up if you time the flame charge correctly that he's doing. And we're going to collect that orb. I think what Rue was saying kind of goes for the whole game. We tend to rush towards the end of a level using the double jump. And as you can see, we're going to be using that again in this room to navigate getting the lamps without needing to kill the required enemies for the flight power-up. But typically what we're going to do is go to the end of the level. Typically we're going to want to get the talisman first and then work our way back, just because it typically is faster that way. There's a lot of things throughout the levels, such as money bags or different walls that you would have to break down. But if we do it backwards, we don't really need those requirements. And especially early on in the run, such as now, before we have all the power-ups, it's really helpful to do. And we're also going to be managing a lot of different tasks at once. As you can see, we've already collected 2 orbs, and in the middle of that, we're in the process of collecting the 3rd orb, which is filling these, I don't know, what would you call these, like moles? They're like little things.
I'll say lizards, to be honest.
Lizards, oh yeah. No, I actually think that's what they're called in the guidebook. I just couldn't think of the word for whatever reason.
I just thought something. The very first level's kind of unique because we're going through it using none of the power-ups, meaning that we still have our flame breath, which is kind of odd in 100% because the majority of the run we're going to be using something else for our flame. Don't want to spoil it just in case. Although we saw it in the 14 tally. But yeah, no, it's quite odd, Glimmer, because of that.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting, if you go back and watch a lot of the run, Glimmer gets optimized way before anything else If you look at like past world records, the first level to really get optimized is Glimmer, which I almost wouldn't expect because Flame makes that level a lot harder in some ways. It works for the setup of the lamps that we're able to do it so fast even without Fireball. Well, whoops. But definitely spoiled that there, but the show goes on. And right now, we're just looking to do a little bit of cleanup. We're not too concerned about grabbing all of the gems. We're going to be coming back to this homeworld. So there's certain gems that we're going to want to collect for the sole purpose of having enough gems to buy swim right here.
Hello? Great. Okay. When you
And it's interesting because we do end up unlocking all the other power-ups, but there are some gems here that we get underwater, and also getting into Ripto is significantly easier when we do buy swim here. So which is why we opt to buy swim now instead of unlocking it through the power-up. And I don't think we've seen this skip yet today in the marathon, so this will be exciting. Skipping into the first boss, Crush. Turns out you can open this door. The flame is long enough that you can close the button and have the door close on you. And there is not a full wall there, so you can double jump out of bounds and straight into the loading screen for Crush.
It's a pretty fun skip to do.
Yeah. Crush being a pretty lackluster boss in this game across all categories.
You say that, but I still find ways to mess it up.
It happens to the best of us. But even though it's messed up by all runners sometimes, the strats are nowhere near as in depth as like Gulp or Ripto. Essentially, we're gonna try and do it exactly the same every single time, and it's possible to do exactly the same every single time. We're gonna be sure to take damage here to make we take damage because if not, Crush will try and do his attack 3 times, which is generally slow. If we take the hit, we can flame him and keep him on his very specific circle, which is the blue one, because that just happens to be a little bit faster. And then we can get through the boss, head to our second homeworld in Avalar, which is Autumn Plains. See, that wasn't too bad.
Specifically with that third phase there, by the way, you want to make sure that Crush walks out a little bit. Because if Crush doesn't move away from the pad, he'll end up going to the red one, which you can get fast cycles with, but it's a lot more harder.
And again,
Yeah.
Autumn Plains... Oh, sorry.
That's
Go on.
right. I was just going to say it's really hard to time the flame for the red attacks, so we mostly try and avoid them.
It's so funny because every single time I watch runners do this, I still do the quote-unquote old route for this homeworld, so it always looks a little silly to me, but the overall idea is there's a couple things we pick up on the way to the second boss, but our main priority is to get to Gulp. We're gonna have this really long glide in which Spyro's gonna flaunt his stuff, if you will, in the process. This section of the game always gets me mad because as a community we decided to call it Gulp Skip, which confuses me because we don't skip Gulp. Like, we still fight him. Gulp Skip makes it sound like we do not need to fight him at all, which is kind of silly. And wow, Bucci with the raid. Thank you so much. Hopefully you had a good stream. Welcome everyone.
That's a very comfy looking raid.
Bucci comfy. I love that emote so much. Can I see some Bucci waves in the chat? I've not seen as many. Anyway, so essentially what we're going to be looking to do here is Rui's going to walk into this wall, which is usually a breakable wall, but if we walk into it in the right way, you'll see Spyro start to enter a little bit of a weird standing animation. And eventually, if we walk into the wall in the correct way, Spyro will drop down in between the breakable wall and where he's standing. He'll be caught between these two spaces. Let's see if he can get that. It's really precise. Okay, so we have to drop. It's gonna turn the camera a little bit, and then okay, so that's fine. That's actually such a difficult thing to do. What he needs to do is charge glide super fast there, and it kind of manipulates Spyro's existence a little bit so that we can just squeeze out of bounds there and get into the boss. So he's gonna set this up again. Notice how he's like really trying to line up like the center of Spyro's head with the wall there. That really is how you get that consistently. So that's a good setup. And then he's gonna move the camera against this wall and just tap left until he drops down. And there's so many different ways of doing this. Okay, so that time we're not gonna get the drop right in between, but it's fine. We got lives. We're gonna give it another go.
Not many lives there. I seriously hope I don't game over.
No, I believe in you.
So yeah, I've seen people sort of do this like quite differently. Some people just sort of stay vertical to the wall, I guess, and like try and get the clip that way. I just find doing the camera like this though to be just a little bit more consistent. It somewhat hurts my thumb because I have to like tap the left button quite a bit whilst holding the camera button. But
yeah, it's interesting. Usually I do it the other way, where I just continue looking straight. But I don't really. There's not really a reason for that. Let's see.
Come on, Spyro. There you go.
Okay, so we have the drop. Now he's gonna go from square to X super fast to do that charge glide, get out of bounds, and we're into Gulp. So a lot of you were probably around for the last time we fought Gulp. Let's do a quick review. There are three kinds of ways we can do damage to Gulp. There's bombs, there's barrels, and there's rockets. And essentially all you need to know is we don't really like bombs. Bombs are not too good. They're generally slow. However, even though they are slow, they do give us an opportunity to set up some pretty easy doubles. We're gonna hope that the first phase here that we get is gonna be 2 barrels. We're gonna hope that they're placed in a position that allow us to get a double. That was really hard. I don't know if there's any way you could have done that.
Probably if I flamed it a bit closer, could have got that.
Yeah, it would have been tricky though, because Gulp was so close. So now we're gonna have 2 bombs spawn. And the thing that's unfortunate about this is there's no way to get a double during that phase. So typically what we try and do is if you get 2 hits during the first phase, it'll automatically skip that double bomb phase and bring us right to the rockets. We like rockets a lot in this fight for one reason only, and it's doubles are easy. Doubles, and it really allows you to set up for potential triples with a lot of ease, which obviously even better than a double. And from here on out, it's pretty much all RNG. Let's see if we get anything good. Double bomb. What's that? Triple bombs. Ugh. Yeah, that would happen in a marathon. Triple bombs are the worst because typically if you get some combination of bomb rocket or even bomb barrel rocket, rocket barrel, you get some kind of opportunity to attempt to get a double hit. So a perfect double right there. So that's a really good example of actually the only reason why we like bombs here is it really allows you to get an easy double.
No, I just hate bombs in general. Don't try and justify it.
Yeah. Alright, that's fair. That's
I threw that.
That's fine. That's a difficult pivot to hit. Wow, you got no rockets at all. Ooh, make him hit himself. This is a fun thing.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Alright, Gulp, for sure.
Yeah, so this ain't the greatest Gulp fight, but, you know, it's fine.
it's not the greatest Gulp fight, but you also you didn't have too much to work with, especially triple bombs the first round. You got a lot of bombs that fight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess to quickly explain with that rocket, what happens is if you take too long to pick up any of the items you're given to fight Gulp, he can pick them up and do damage to you. He spits the rocket back out at you, and it follows you. So you can actually have that rocket come back and hit Gulp, which is always fun, but it's also unfortunately kind of slow. But
Also, if you take too much damage during that fight, sometimes chickens can spawn. And if Gulp eats the chicken, whoopsies, he can heal HP. So,
yeah. But none of that happening today, so that's good.
Yeah. Luckily, you always go in with full sparks because of the orb. But, yeah. If the fight goes bad, it goes really bad.
And similar to the last two homeworlds, unlike what Winter Chandra looked like for the 14 tally runners, we actually go a little bit out of our way to get some gems. It works out really well. Because while getting up to do climb skip, we can grab a couple gems that otherwise would be a little out of the way, as well as an orb. And then we can clean up some of what's on the stairs, so later on when we have to climb up those stairs again, it's not much of an issue. Sparks sometimes is not always the best on those stairs and leaves a lot of stuff, but since we go through it, I think 3 times throughout the run, it's really helpful. Great wall glide there, wow. So that out of bounds going on here. We have to be really careful because we do have swim, which means that if he swims in that water out of bounds, did you grab that?
That's bad. No.
Did you game over? No.
No,
So
I didn't game over. It's just really frustrating when that happens.
Yeah, but you got over the wall with a lot of ease the first time, so I believe you could do it easily the second time. Boom, second try, let's go. That's actually a super hard. We're going for a different strat there that involves a glide. Typically, people will try and do a little spurter onto the wall up there. The glide actually has a lot more consistency to it, so good on you for recognizing that and choosing a consistent strat. I actually do the wall thing, and it kills so many runs for me. So now, as you can see, we have a fireball power up. Typically, the way you would get that as a casual player is by 100%ing the game, and that door opens up, and you can get this permanent fireball power up. But since we're gamers and speedrunners over here, we straight game over that wall and into that room to get the fireball power up. Now there's this little river right here. That swim hitbox goes a little bit out of bounds, so we go out of bounds as well, and we collect. We dive into the little section of it that's out of bounds to get a swim and air glitch to bypass the orb that usually require 40 orbs to get through, and go straight into Ripto. And this is an incredibly simplified fight with Fireball.
Just before we head into Ripto, I love how simplistic old games are. For not wanting to get into an area, just slap a door in front of it. Nothing to go wrong.
So true. It's so funny. But yeah, if you watch the SRT, any run actually, the Ripto fight is just so. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's very RNG heavy. You gotta do some manipulation with how Ripto runs around to pick up things, and here we don't need to pick up anything. We don't need to worry about power-ups. We have a permanent one, and we just run at Ripto and flame at him.
Just saying, very good attempt here. I've completely messed it up.
Of the early
Ripto does sort of not these early shots, but for the third phase. Ripto is somewhat predictable for his movement until towards the end. But yeah, completely messed that up.
All right,
It's done,
that's
though.
any percent.
Yeah.
So now that we have quote unquote beat the game, we now go in reverse and get that nice 100 percentage. For a very long time, this is actually a pretty highly debated thing within the community. From what I know, Jumpy Luff, shout out to him, was the first person to submit a time to the leaderboard that involved early Ripto. So why do we do early Ripto, right? There's two big reasons. One, there's no more money bags anywhere, so any power up that would require any power up that would require you to buy, any locked doors that you would require to buy, those aren't there anymore. So we can just walk right into them. So that's kind of nice. And arguably the more important reason, or not even arguably, like objectively the more important reason, is that we get an extended Sparks range. So now Sparks is really, really big range. You're going to see him grab some gems that you probably don't even know are there unless you've played this game a stupid amount of time. He will be grabbing gems that are not even on screen, which we really like. If you see right here, perfect example of it, boom, just picked up those 7 gems. You didn't know they were there. I don't even know they were there at this point, because Spark like picks them up automatically. You don't even need to worry about it. So from here, wow, this is an interesting. Is this the new Robotica route? I'm so. I use such old boy strats, dude. It's so bad. I think I learned off like. Shoutouts to Gasco41. He's not really around anymore, but he was a solid runner who would use really simplistic and straightforward strats and did really well with them. If anyone's looking to get into this category, some of it's outdated now. I should say probably a lot of it is outdated these days, but it is really straightforward and does get the job done if you're looking to get just a solid time, nothing like world record worthy.
With learning categories like this, you definitely want to go with a route that you feel comfortable with as well. So don't necessarily always go for what world record does. Go for things that like you're comfortable doing. See other runs and go off them.
Yeah, for sure. I especially I think at this point, world record is so optimized. A lot of what's there is going to be a little frustrating. I definitely say like try all the routes that are there and see.
That sheep. You completely messed me up there.
I've never seen that sheep get so close to that enemy before. Right here, we're going to do a little bit of a cutscene skip, where we're going to grab this mystery drawer, and then we're going to talk to this guy. And since we changed cutscenes, we can move around a little bit. That's fine. You got where you needed to go. Some people disagree on whether allow it. You have to do it a second time. Yeah, I don't know why that was ever a thing of whether or not early Ripto should be allowed, but I'm glad we've come to this decision as a community to at least allow it.
I love Lulu's solution to that. Just do the credits cheat at the end.
Funny. That was a really solid flop right there off that double jump. I struggle a lot getting back up there. So as you can probably tell, as Rui was going through this level, he was killing a lot of enemies. That's to unlock this Supercharged Power Up, which lets us get through all these pumpkins, which you could destroy with Fireball. But there's these 2 doors that you cannot destroy with Fireball, so that's why we still do the Power Up. Also, we do some gem collection, as you just saw. And having that Power Up just allows us to do it a lot faster. That was a pretty solid snipe right there. Now we get this last pumpkin. I think it's a pumpkin, right? I don't call them pumpkins.
I would say so. With the Supercharged, by the way, it's quite hard to get all the baskets along there, but if you do get all the baskets, you can just sort of carry out the Supercharge right to the end of the level, so it's nice if you can get all of them.
Yeah, and it's good to note that even if you do hit them with the Supercharge, the gem doesn't automatically hone in, like, oh, there's...
I missed a gem. I don't know where though.
So the good thing though is that we did do early Ripto, and what that means is Sparks will automatically point towards any gems that you have not collected. It seems like it's towards the beginning here. Interesting. So you must have flamed that one and it not honed in. So the cool thing about Fireball is typically you couldn't flame phases. But with Fireball you can, which means you can now flame charge them. So you're going to see Rui really try and abuse that and collect some vases from quite a long distance. If you're looking to get into this category, I definitely recommend you try doing that and really mess around with how long you can get away with doing a flame charge, because you'd be so shocked at how lenient it is in terms of distance. Got an interesting out of bounds coming here. So in order to get into, oh wow, that was so solid, dude. That was so smooth. How perfect.
Thank you.
You basically have to blindly fly out into the middle of nowhere and then dive down. And typically what you'll notice in a lot of Spyro 2 and 3, specifically in the original trilogy, is when a level is not yet unlocked, the devs, I guess, just hid the portal underground. So what we do is we go out of bounds and then look for that portal underground, which is not an easy thing to find, and Rui found it with complete ease. Typically, I think you need 20 orbs or something like that to get into Metropolis, but we don't have them yet.
24, I think.
24. So we just go out of bounds and disregard it. And here, and really goes to show you how nice it is to have this fireball power up. Notice how we haven't bought climb, and Rui's still going to be able to climb up here because we did beat Ripto. And this boss used to annoy me so much. It's like a mini boss. Mini boss used to annoy me so much as a kid, and the fact that we could just like walk right up to them.
Excellent.
And
Fireball really makes the game broken.
Yeah. We're gonna do another out of bounds here to get into the final room. You will see what we do later to do gem collection. It's pretty smooth. And we're just gonna immediately start the UFO challenge while flying over to get the super flight power up.
The classic destroy everything route. There is a way to sort of predict where all the UFOs will go, but I'm not that good.
They are on a set cycle,
Excellent.
but even if there was one world record that Drash got, and I remember immediately after he was like, "Someone's gonna watch me try and do the cycles in Metropolis to like learn a route, and they're not gonna realize that I messed it up and had to improv the whole time, and it's actually not that optimal at all." And we won't be able to tell them. Wow, this is this a route you usually do?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really good collection that you got there. Oh, and you even got some of the rings. Nice. Metropolis is always really interesting to watch other runners do, because I think everyone kind of has their own way of hitting a cycle in a way they find to be consistent. What top level runners do is super duper tight in terms of timing, so it's really nice to see people get creative with it and do things they're comfortable with. So now that we've gotten those orbs, we're gonna do some gem collection, and then from there Rui's gonna drop down to where you would usually enter the level from and just grab what's left of the gems in this level. Areas, dude, I think one of the things I can really appreciate about this game is that like when you get to Winter Tundra, all the levels feel really open with the exception of maybe like one or two. So they feel like you can kind of explore them in a way that other levels you can't really do, since it's more open. It's not as linear.
I just want to comment on my route there. I sort of just roll with what I get. The second phase is always consistent for me, but not always to gem collection. I just sort of think, what have I hit, and what would be like the fast way? I have no set pattern. It just works. I don't know.
Okay. Hey man, if it works, it works. Is that the saying? I feel like there's a better saying for it, but I don't know. So from here, we're gonna go and grab this orb, which I think for a lot of people, I know for me, when I was a kid, finding this orb as a child was the most infuriating thing in the world.
Yeah.
We're going into our first speedway.
I like to go into casual streams sometimes, and I notice that a lot of the time they just completely forget that orb.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, do I tell them? Do I ruin the surprise?
chat noticed that unlike Spyro 1, we have this really cool thing we could do where we charge on the ground in these levels and get a supercharge, which we'll abuse here and there. I don't even know if abuse is the right word. We just use it probably near the way it was intended in most of the levels.
I'm missing one.
You're missing one. Of what? Oh, the tractor guys? Oh, that's interesting. I thought you hit them all
So
with
did
either
I.
fireball. Well, the good thing about those enemies though is they like come towards you if you go in the right direction, so it's an easy fix. And we get the skill point. Can the charging momentum carry over into glide? No, it does not. To my knowledge, at least. You pretty much lose all momentum once you go in there. Alright, everybody. I want to see some pews in chat in honor of one of my favorite sound effects in this game.
I don't like to hold it because I hate the noise, but should I?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
I'm just gonna hold it for the pews.
I have conflicting feelings about it because like this is a very annoying sound effect, but like I think I like it because it's annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny. It's a nice little sound. And this is just an auto scroller, so Rui's gonna know exactly where every balloon is because it's exactly the same every single time.
Oh.
You're probably gonna see him place the marker in some seemingly odd places, but he knows what's gonna show up around the corner, so he'll get through this.
It does scare me a little bit sometimes.
Thought this was, I don't know, dude. Dude, I feel like I say this all the time, but I hate Hunter in this game. It's like your whole world is about to be destroyed and you're making Spyro do silly chores for orbs. The only
Don't
thing
say
that
that
can
about
save
my
your
sweet
people.
boy. He's a wonderful lad. Don't diss him like that.
I'm sorry,
He's a
I take it
wonderful-
all back. That's a good emote right there. That Hunter emote, what is this? Why
I
Hunter?
trust emotes. That is great.
I think Hunter's probably the most like emoted character in Spyro. I'm gonna say it. I think he's more. There's more Hunter emotes than there are Spyro emotes. I think.
For sure.
And now we go into there was an old server for finding strats in Spyro 2, and the general channel in that server was literally called Marsh Sucks.
I love this level, to be honest.
I think casually this is like one of the best Spyro levels. Like you get to explore so much. The enemies are like really silly and fun. Like figuring out the puzzle. But like when it comes to a speedrun, like first of all, anything where it's just like if you die, a challenge is reset is devastating. So that makes it really frustrating. And on top of that, like some of the enemies, their placements are just really annoying. Oh, that's interesting. You flame that guy, huh?
Yeah, just
I'm like watching this run,
away
being like, do I need
to
to pick up on any of these strats? This is a very challenging jump for me. This fountain jump right here,
Yeah.
and you're gonna do it perfectly fine, of course. Boom, second try. And we're gonna start a second challenge right around here. Let's Rui does some little bit of collection. And essentially this, they have like spark plugs, I think it is, something weird that belongs in a car. And
I think it's oil.
oh
It's like vases or something that you get.
wait, you do this level very different. This is so interesting. So essentially what you're gonna see him do, it's gonna kill these two enemies right there. Oh, and pick up the egg during the cutscene, and essentially what happens when you kill those enemies, you'll see it later in the level, is a cutscene automatically plays by killing them and then grabbing the orb. The cutscene plays during the same time that the orb cutscene plays. And you'll see that right here. I don't know, did I explain spark plugs? Yes it is. Thank you, chat. You would think after speedrunning this game like a thousand times? Yeah, I'll say it. I think I've probably played this game 1,000 times at this point. Maybe not this specific level, but yeah, I would remember certain things. But yeah, the egg challenge is like basically a big trading game where there's a bunch of things throughout the level. If you give the eggs to the bird's nest, it gives you an acorn, or like a seed. And you give the seed to a pot plant, and the pot plant spits out a duck? Is that what we're on right now? Yeah, and then you have to find some ducklings to give this duck back to. And all in the meantime, we're gonna do that while doing some gem collection. That's a pretty sus spit out right there. I don't know if that got it. Essentially what we try and do is we try and spit it at the ducks. So when we get over there, it's waiting for us, but no big deal. I miss that a lot too. Duck's gonna give us what is it? It's like an onion. Turnip. Yeah. I don't know why I would think that's an onion. That's just wrong. Oh my God. It's so nice to have extended sparks underwater, man. It makes that section so silly. You just like charge through and grab everything.
Especially during summer forest, it'll get very nice.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Okay, and we're through with that. All the sparks plugs is connected, and we hold on to that turnip, which is good because now once we go through this little section right here, it'll spawn us right where we need to go to put that turnip in what do you call those? Like a cauldron, right? Yeah.
Yeah, cauldron.
Shoutouts to Peachy's sub notification. I think that's her sub notification. The Wahoo. Then we get the coin. There's a lot of like annoying enemies in this level, and you've done a fantastic job of not getting hit by any of them. I'm gonna kill that big guy right there before we kill on with the level. Very smart, makes getting that vase super easy. Just spit it in, grab those 2 gems. And from the way Sparks is standing, I think you got all the gems. That's 100%. Hell yeah it is. And we're on to the next level.
The general route of that level is just so interesting to me because you have the collectibles going on, but you also have the warps that happens when you get like the kangaroo feathers. So like whilst it's really annoying to learn, I think it's like one of the most funnest, to be honest, for me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you want to hear that, but the route you're using is out of date. It's the route I think most people do it, but I know Drash recently found a route that's like a couple seconds faster, but is somehow more annoying.
Yeah, no, I learned the route for this a while back.
Yeah, same. It's actually really hard in this game to keep up with all the routes, because with the combination of fireball and double jump and swim in air, there's so many different ways you can build routes in a lot of different levels. It's like it's hard to keep up.
No, I didn't actually learn from world record either.
You want to shout out who you learned from?
Zachary Lawrence, if he's here.
Zachary Lawrence. Shoutouts to ZL. Yeah, actually, I went up with some own routes that I think world record should be using, but doesn't. They're a couple seconds faster. So, shoutouts to him, grinding Spyro like no other.
Yeah, this is like the old routes that he used. Recently, he's been grinding a lot recently.
Yeah.
He has a 39 now, which is really good. That's 4 minutes off, so... God damn it.
No, that's fine. So, typically what we do is kill 21 enemies if we were casual players, and then use that to free some enemies to get up here, but we're better than that. So we just double jump into this room and hit these bells, which are part of the challenge. After hitting the second bell,
I like how you knew the number for that. Is that some bingo knowledge coming out?
What, the 21? No, I just looked at the thing has like the number of enemies you need to kill, so I just read that. I mean, it could be some bingo knowledge if you want me to look smarter than I actually am.
Thanks.
Yes. You're very smart, lad.
Appreciate that. And now we're just gonna go through this level. And it's really interesting. There's those giant red enemies that kind of look like the devil. I don't know how else to describe them. We're looking to kill those at very specific points because when you do kill them, they activate a cutscene. Sometimes we don't even want that cutscene to activate. But like right there, it warps us up here, so we can get to the end of the level faster, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this. I hope I get it, but I probably
let's
won't.
go. This is...
I beseech.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh wow, you got it. Yes, let's go. So that's kind of cool. We do a sequence break there. Usually what happens is you kill that enemy that's up there, and then you will always be warped back to this room no matter where you are. So we start this challenge with Agent Zero, which is a good thing to do because oh, he barely saw you, dude. That's too bad. Usually though, we would just go on sneaking behind Agent Zero, but happens. Oh, wow, you wait a while for him.
I mean, you don't really need to move, so...
That's true. These two. Grab these baskets. And from here on out, it's pretty simple. We're just looking to do some cleanup on the gems that are here along the way.
Love the music in this section.
Oh, what? You're crazy, dude. There's so many fun ways to do that little section right there. And we get to his secret base without him seeing us. I think that's it for Winter Challenger, right? We just gotta grab one or two
yeah, just a little bit
collectibles on the way up. And then we're so silly how we do this, because now we're going back to Summer Forest. We actually end this at the end of Autumn Plains in Icy Speedway. Is it Icy Speedway? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, you would think I would know the levels names by now, but I don't.
I'm not that with that song, to be honest.
I'm like that. I'm super like that with S1. I couldn't tell you this name of a single level in that game outside of like Artisans.
Misty Bog, that's about it.
I couldn't even tell you Bog. It's just Misty in my mind. The first level we go to is Colossus. I just want to put this out here. I hate this home world.
Yep.
Not a fan of it at all. So if it sounds like I'm a little angry at it, that's why.
This is the only homeworld that I like refuse to practice because I just hate it.
Yeah. This is the biggest RNG factor in this game. You'll see that coming up soon. Just throughout Summer Forest, mainly in these first two levels. And a lot of fun routing though. If there's one thing S2 has a lot of, it really abuses the double jump to really go wherever you please. So the first thing we actually do, we're gonna go through and start the cursed Summer. I hardly know her. Sorry, I saw Summer in chat and I had to make that joke.
Gosh damn it.
Ciao Hashem. Thank you for giving me an excuse to do that. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start this like cursed statue challenge, which as a kid, dude, like this is just like Ghastly, right? Like as a kid I was just like, dude, I love Ghastly, dude. I love that Ghastly's in Spyro. And my friends were like, what? No, he's not. Like this straight up, these like things that fly out, that is Ghastly. Anyway, so we're gonna use the fact that oh, that's an interesting thing that somehow we got super far into this run without mentioning. I don't really understand the full physics as to why this is, but walls in this game just don't function the way you would expect walls to. There's certain walls that only go one way. Some are just completely a visual thing, like the one you just saw. There's nothing to bonk on, there's nothing there. Some, yeah, I think those are actually the only, like some are just like visual, and some are hard on both ends, and then some you can go through on one end but not the other. I don't know why it's that way, I don't know who determined that, but hey, I'm here for it. So,
I think it's mostly what the devs did to just like conserve memory space.
yeah,
There's
that's
a lot of that in Spyro 3.
yeah, that's what I've been told. But like, why? Why in the like? Some of them just don't make any sense to me, man. I don't get it. And here we are. And any Canadians in chat, because this is you. This is hockey.
We blame you for this.
Yeah, honestly. So there actually is a strat now where you can grab the puck before it gets to the goalie, but it's also not easy at all. And there are two ways that this can go. Way one is that the goalie hits it directly back to you, and you get what we refer to as a quick shot, which obviously we like that because quick means fast, and fast is good in speed runs. But the other situation, which is what we've been seeing here. Okay, that was a quick shot that Rui just got, so that's one. Typically we want 3. That's 2. Okay. Let's see if we can get a third.
You hit it in the right
it's so
direction.
close,
I was just
but
in the wrong spot.
That is typically what we're looking for. If you get 3, that's average. It's good enough. If not, he just hits it away from you, and it's just annoying and a time loss for no reason. But there's a solution to that these days, so that's good. And then there's section 2 of hockey, which is very interesting, where you have to play more a traditional game of one-on-one hockey, which I don't think anyone ever does in their life, but whatever. And everyone has their own like unique little strat here that they do to set up getting a goal. Seems like Rui's gonna opt to hit the guy not immediately. I like to hit him into that wall right there, but everyone has a strat. I do think what Rui's doing is considered the more optimal thing, and I'm just dumb, which is fine.
It's a bit annoying though, just in general. Where's the puck?
I think it needs to be tossed out again, if I had to guess. Yeah, it's the other way.
What?
So it is totally possible. There goes the skill point, man. Too bad. Yeah.
What even happens?
So you know how I was talking about walls before and how they're not always fully there? I think if a puck goes at a certain velocity, it just like despawns and goes out of bounds. And what happens in that situation is the referee. I don't know who. Maybe that's Brother Ned. I don't know their names. We'll just hit out another puck. Oh, very important thing about this that I'm missing. The reason why we hit this other player here is because the goalie on the opposing team will always hit it back directly to his teammate. So we hit him into a very specific spot and then line up so that way the goalie will just hit it into Spyro's mouth. I probably should have said that instead of complaining about bad mini game, TBH, but
It's fine.
yeah, yeah, we can all hate on hockey as a treat.
They don't need to know the details of it. They just need to know that it sucks.
Yeah, true that. Here we're just gonna look to. Oh, that enemy's so, especially in 14 tally. There's like one of those enemies that always I bonk on, and it gets me so mad every single time. So we're just gonna look to finish up some gem collection in the first half of the level that we bypassed. Goals hit these last 2 statues.
Oh my!
Oh, that's too bad. Usually, right after hitting that last statue, we look to grab those 6 gems that are right there. But there's 2 pretty tight between the wall and the statue that you could bonk on pretty easily, as Rui unfortunately displayed. But it's okay. We can very easily go back and grab those 6 gems. It's not the end of the world, especially because hockey wasn't too bad.
This ain't the normal route, by the way. I'm just sort of improvising.
Yeah.
The run of
I was
shame.
pointing at those 6 gems. I think someone pointed out earlier that I might have misspoken, saying that Sparks will only point to gems if you beat early Ripto. And I think there is a way that if you press every single shoulder button, he'll automatically point to Ripto, but I'm sorry, automatically point to any missed gems, but if you hold down all the shoulder button, it'll do that. If you beat Ripto, you don't need to do that. He just automatically points at gems, which is really nice. I don't use it at all during my runs. I use like audio cue. I listen to Sparks picking up the gems to make sure that they're being collected. But some people will just be like, Sparks is pointing somewhere he shouldn't be pointing. That means I missed a gem. I need to go back. And that's always very impressive to me because Sparks isn't even always on screen. So the fact that you're like paying attention like that, sick. Isle Springs, we have do we have I don't know why he'd be here, but hopefully Venom is here in our hearts for the fish minigame. What's next in Spyrothon? If you go to spyrothon.org, you can see the full schedule in your time zone. I believe next is SRT3 any percent. But anyway, we're gonna do this puzzle that probably frustrated you a bunch as a kid. We have a very clear solution that works 100% of the time, so that's nice. And we're gonna hop right out, go into fish.
The most fun minigame.
This is 100% RNG, and it's terrible because sometimes the flame will distort the hitbox of the fish, so the fish won't go into the mouth even if you hit it exactly how you're supposed to. Let's see. Red fish bad, orange fish, blue fish good. That's all you need to know. Wow, these are coming at you. This is happening. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Oh, chat, I ruined it. I ruined it. He had such a good thing going. He had such a... Oh, I take full responsibility. This game hears me whenever I'm around and people are doing fish. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It hurt me. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Will this be Venom level fish? It's close? In what world is that close to Venom fish? Faulty not knowing the definition of Venom fish confirmed. To me, Venom fish is when you get perfect fish. Yeah. Yeah, but Faulty, that was not perfect fish.
That's quite far from perfect. Also, I messed that up.
Dude, there was one time, I don't think it was in a marathon, but I used to have this TV where the coloration was terrible. And it was super silly because I could not tell like the orange fish and red fish from each other. But luckily that's not an issue anymore. I just say
orange. I'll taste more.
I just want to point this out. Dak just joined in the voice chat. Why is he in here? Is he aware?
He wants to be part of it. Special surprise guest Dak is here.
I mean, he's muted, so I don't know. Dak, if you wanna hop on commentary, I'm super down for it.
Same.
But, I would love to hear your insight. I would also love to know how you ended up in here. Why do you have a runner's roll?
Oh my gosh. This proxy isn't hard, I swear. There you go.
Okay. That is actually a really fun proxy to do, and it's super helpful because it allows us to get up to this like end section of the game, which usually you would have to go through the level normally, but with that extra boost we can get to the end.
Missed 5.
That's fine, it's right there. Especially because you realized it. Do you do the fun supercharge strat? You can like supercharge up this rock right here.
Oh, you
and do this sick, I don't even know what you call it.
Whoosh.
Yeah, this whoosh. That's actually a perfect way to describe it.
Well, this was a horrible idol, but you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is like one of the very few levels I feel like where we just don't skip to the end. I guess we kind of do in some ways. Actually, no, we don't at all. But it's still not. It's still a very convoluted route. We end right here, which is like the end. Oh, you're missing a one. Luckily, we have sparks pointing. Is it in this room? It's always that room.
Yep.
At least it's nice because it's right there. Wait, Steve Harvey? What?
Steve Harvey is trying to chat.
I would not be a fan if that were to happen.
Why not?
I feel like his whole thing is his facial expressions, and we just wouldn't be able to see that, you know?
Hi,
True. His lovely mustache.
Steve Harvey, the dragon dude. That's the plot of Spyro 4. We gotta save Steve Harvey. And now that we are 55 minutes into the run and have already beaten the final boss, we're gonna learn how to jump.
Honestly, I feel well educated right now. So much so that I'm gonna jump to that orb. Thank you, Hunter.
Nice orb get. That's a very good place to practice double jumping.
Oh, instantly. Usually I'm quite unlucky with that. Swim in air there. You sort of had to catch it on a high wave, I guess.
Yeah, the water goes through level cycles, and in order to get the swim in air there, you kind of have to be being pushed out into the open. And we're gonna really abuse the swim in air. Usually what used to happen is we would just go into the speedway, but now we don't even have to climb it out of the room, and it saves... I don't know exactly how much time it saves, if we're being honest, but it does save time, so that's all we care about here.
It do be a speedrun. I'm terrible at Ocean Speedway, so you're gonna probably cry watching me doing this.
This is a level where we really do truly abuse the supercharged option, which is nice. I don't know why you thought I was gonna like cringe watching you do this. This is how I would be doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright. I feel confident knowing that now.
I think in my PB I actually messed this one up. Funny enough.
You can murder these guys.
One for the whole family.
Hell yeah.
GTA who? So here, do you do any of the quick rings? Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
do. Typically what you would do as a casual is just follow Hunter to all the green portals, but we since found a way that you can just grab some of the ones early on and end up not following Hunter in the end and saving a couple seconds. It's a little tight, but Rui's gonna get it with ease because he's a pro. There's some additional ones that you can do very odd order, but I think the difference is only like 1 second, and it's a little risky, so I'm gonna play it a little safe. I'll grab these now while Hunter goes flying around. And as you can see, we're just gonna fly into the last two while Hunter is doing who knows what. Stuff like that always freaks me out, dude. Because I'm always afraid I'm not gonna fly into it. And that is the conclusion of our second speedway. And we're gonna head on. What was
You
that?
said that like it was a PowerPoint presentation.
Dude, I should do the rest of this like it's a PowerPoint presentation. At the beginning of
No,
every
I
loading
like
screen,
it.
I'm gonna be like, next slide, please. Alright, this is, I think, probably one of my favorite levels in all of Spyro. I love the aesthetic.
Really?
Yeah, I love the music, the aesthetic. Just like the rainy weather. If I could like live in any Spyro world, I would want to live here. You know? Also,
I can
but like,
somewhat see it. Although I don't think that's the true reason why you want to be here. You just want to be with SpongeBob, let's be real.
dude, that's true. This is the voice actor SpongeBob. Rest in peace to him. I would say his name, but I don't remember it. Someone check point that out. Yeah, this whole aesthetic is just so nice with the little rainbow in the back. Oh my! Can we talk about the skyboxes in Spyro? They're so beautiful.
I really like the
Tom
one
Kenny, thank you so much. Rest in peace.
in Crystal Islands. It's really nice.
Yeah, and that's in 3, right? That you're talking about. I just need to
Yeah.
make sure because I don't know all the levels.
Oh, and Shemps is quite cool as well.
Remember to press
I think I say that because of Shemp, but I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Did I completely mess up? Is the voice actor not the one who died? Tom Kenny, I think, is alive and well.
Thanks.
I think it's Steven Hillenberg that passed away. Oh no. That's such a thing that I would do. It's so funny. But a lot of fun things going on in this level that I'm just not talking about because I'm having a good time. That skip to the end there is so frustrating when you're new, but once you can get it consistently, it feels so good.
These faces, dude. Whoa.
Whoa, you had a little proxy right there. That's pretty nice. And so early in, I was saying that there's some obstacles that you would be facing if you were to do the level in a normal way. And there are some electric doors here that you can see. Rui's just gonna walk right through because they only work one way, which is really nice because collecting the light bulbs is a little not fun. However, Rui, can you pick up a light bulb for me at some point? I think it's actually like the pews are annoying, and I think it's funny that they're annoying. So I like really like them, but like the sound of picking up a light bulb in this is just so satisfying. Listen to this. I love it. You went really well. There's definitely some better options in terms of picking them up, but thank you for doing that for me.
It was the only one I could think of.
Yeah, there's one like right here.
Yeah.
You have to like run past. And then there's another in this corner. But yes, thank you.
A robot dude was after me, man.
The robots are so terrifying, dude.
This is... Right, the level's good, but this is the section I hate, because if you
Okay,
mess
so-
up even slightly...
Yeah.
Like,
It's such a love-hate thing for me because it's really nice that we have a consistent way to do this. You guys are going to see Rui putting the lightning orbs into place in a very specific way. Once he puts all of them in, the enemies are going to start coming, and they're going to be coming in a very specific manner. Ooh, that might mess you up a little bit. Yeah, you might be able to still get a good cycle though. Yeah, you'll be fine, I think. It's a little annoying.
oh yeah,
to do.
yeah, I see him. I see him. Did he just go
I think he went the other way.
the other way?
Yeah.
I think he's
Oh
gone.
no, he's gone. Yeah. It's too bad. Is minigaming scared you as a kid? Oh, everyone I know, I have a good friend who's also very into Spyro. He doesn't speedrun, but he's like a very big casual fan. And every single time I tell him this is like my favorite level, probably across all Spyro games, he just tells me how much it terrified him as a kid. And I think that's the general consensus. Maybe I was probably just a weird kid. Was implying I'm not weird anymore.
I don't think this level really like scared me or anything. I just sort of found it very annoying.
So nothing's changed, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Same.
I'm gonna pick this up now. I'll just put it there. Oh wait, you picked it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But by the time you started doing the thing, it was a little too late. It's fine. There's a very easy way to get both these enemies in the end. If you just wait to put that orb, you just stand up here and they come around. Oh, that can go off the edge, and that will despawn and not respawn. So you got so lucky. There's a clip out there, I think, of Zachary Lawrence doing something like that.
That was really weird though, like disappeared for a second and just reappeared.
Yeah.
We're halfway there, I think. Close to halfway. I like this level.
Sunny Beach. This is a very fun set. Shout out to Stuart Copeland. I feel bad. Last Spyrothon. Oh, you know, it's funny you were there. I think you were running S2 Hondo at that Spyrothon as well, right? If I recall correctly. In the relay?
Yes, I was racing with Ladybug, I think.
Yeah. The last half of the run, I just like talked about how Stuart Copeland probably had dementia while he was making the soundtrack. I don't know why. What a rude thing to be doing. Or that he was like senile or something. I don't remember. Anyway, so this is another fun level. What we're looking to do here is, actually we don't really rush to the end here. Because there are a lot of boxes we need to
My aim is just so bad today.
So we gotta free these turtle boxes. And usually what you would have to do, right, is actually rush to the end of the level and then come back with the fireball power up. But we have a fireball power up, so we just do it along the way. Just so nice. If you ever watch people play bingo, it's always kind of fun to see how they decide to do this level when they don't have fireball.
Do we have bingo this
fireball power? Is that what I said? I feel like there's so many times when I try and say words and in my brain it's just like that came out correctly, and then I look at chat and chat's just like, actually I'll have you know you did not say anything coherent. Yo, what's up, Paul? You good there, man?
What the hell's going on?
Dude wanted to do a little swim, it's fine. He did his little cannonball, now he's coming back, it's fine. You just want to have a little fun. Here at Spyrothon, we see something new every year. And that was definitely it. I don't know how you did that. I don't know why that happened, but it happened, alright. I love the accent of this guy at the top of this ladder. It's so funny.
Your total frame.
So this is another thing where Rui's gonna know exactly where to go because the spawns are the same every single time, which is nice. If you're me, you don't memorize the spawns, which is chaotic for the second round.
Oh, I don't either.
Oh, great. So this might be fun.
Yep.
At least you know where the first one is.
I know like half the pattern.
Okay, raise your hands if you never realized you could charge the turtles as a kid. I'll raise my hand. I don't really remember. It's so interesting. When I like try and think about speedrunning this game, or playing this game as a kid, it's really, the more I speedrun it, the harder it is for me to really pull exact memories from my childhood. I just kind of can't. It's a lot of it is just replaced with like early speedrunning memories at this point. But yeah, if this turtle goes into the stew, the chef gets really mad at you. and then you have to start from the beginning, which is weird because like the soup's already ruined. I don't know what doing it again would do, but
That's a really good tell.
yeah, it was. And so what we're gonna do here is actually you can shoot the last box through the floor here. So he's gonna set himself up to do that. It's gonna warp him back to the beginning of the level to get this orb, and he'll also auto-collect those 5 gems. And that's where we end that level. On to the next one. Trying to... That actually sounds terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that, Chloe. Now on... oh my god. Can we get some wet-agains in chat for Aquarium Towers?
This button, dude.
Actually, probably one of the more interesting levels in this game, in this category. Prairie Tower is being very, very interesting. The first thing we're going to do is shoot a fireball through a wall to hit a button that's not in this room. And as you probably know, when you hit those buttons, there's an automatic spawn point, so it'll actually spawn us in the very last room. And place us swimming, which is really cool. So what we're going to watch Rui do, he's going to clear this room first, and then he's going to go in reverse this whole level. And it's interesting because not everywhere in the level is the exit and enter points. Whoa, that was a little odd, but we're good. I hate these sharks so much, but not everywhere in the level are the water entry and exit points there. So we'll be able to go through the level swimming in places that we really should not be able to at some point, and Rui's going to have to really be careful with how he chooses to navigate the level, because we do want to hold on to that swim for as long as we possibly can. So you're going to see him going like kind of an odd way, and you're going to hear a weird sound effect once he goes up into this area where it sounds like he leaves water and then enters it again. That's because of how we chose to hit the buttons. And see, there he entered a pool of water when he was already swimming. It's very interesting how we choose to route this level. And then, thankfully with Fireball, we don't really need to worry too much about sharks. They're annoying, but the level is so much easier than having to kill all the enemies to get a Fireball power up. We're not even going to bother filling this room with water. The last button's all you really need to press to get the talisman, to get wet again, TM. So that's what we're looking to do. We're just gonna hop right up, hop right over, and then head into the last room.
And then this part's fun. So if you like hold one direction and just constantly charge, we'll slowly but surely get out of bounds.
We'll look to hold upright, I think it is, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Get out of bounds, and usually I think it's 5 or 6 different doors you have to go through to save all of them, but we just go into the last one and save the last fella up here. And that's enough to trigger the orb, so saves a lot of time. And that casual route is it's actually really hard. So nice that we're doing it the way that we're doing it.
Oh, whoops. I need you. Please? Thank you. Sometimes you just speak to the gems like they're people.
Yeah. You gotta. Now we're just gonna go through the level normally. Or the level. This challenge normally for the most part. You're gonna see Rui do some dip downs and stuff to grab some extra gems. But outside of that, we're just following the nice little seahorse.
Well, Now then. Okay. Good
I
luck.
find this challenge to be quite hard, to be honest. Because you want to grab
Oh
like,
yeah.
as many gems as possible, but sometimes it's kind of hard. There's a way
Well,
to like do it so that you
give
can
us a
just
second
exit
here.
straight away. But
Might need to do some refreshing on the stream. In the meantime, keep doing your thing. Yeah, we're gonna need some live play-by-play commentary here, because currently you're a little frozen. It's fine. So actually, right now Rui's on his way to world record. He is sprotered into Ripto. Actually, no, he got the Penguin proxy into Ripto. He's fighting Ripto a second time because he's so far ahead that it doesn't even matter. Wild, absolutely crazy mad lad. And he has decided to be kind enough just to leave Aquaria again and go back to a normal route like a normal person to give everyone else a chance. What an honorable thing to be doing.
people aren't ready for my strats yet.
Yet. I like that. One day they will be ready. And that cleans up Summer Forest. And now we're in the last half of the game. Last half, I guess last quarter, right? It's like 4 sections.
The
You got the boss.
best part of the game, personally.
Are you? Do you mean that seriously?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Okay.
I mean, Zephyr is like kind of bad, but other than that, it's like just pure collecting, to be honest. No PS involved.
It's interesting. Do you want to guess what my favorite section of the game is?
Winter Tundra.
No, it's the boss rush, and people get mad at me when I say that.
I mean, I can see why, but it's just sort of, I don't know. Sometimes it's a bit unfair.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, oh, why not just play any %? And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I will do that.
Then you get to the Spyro part, just like, maybe not.
True. So this is another fun level where we.
How do I double jump? There you go.
It's X and square.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is another really interesting level where we just head straight to the end. And there is a specific challenge. I think it's Bombo in this game, recently renamed to Bob in SRT. Where you kind of have to run through the whole level anyway. So what we do is we kind of just go to every Bombo spot, and then from there we clear as much as we can as we go through the level with him. Bombo tries to hit us with some bombs here and there, and we try not to get hit by them while doing some collection. And he will lead us to the end, and once we've followed him to the end 3 times, we get an orb.
So Bombo tries to throw in the direction that he thinks you're going. So you sort of want to like wave your movements here, otherwise you're likely gonna get hit.
And I think I don't recall. It's been a while. I think SRT. I know SRT and OG have 2 very different strats. I think in SRT you generally want to stay in the center. In this, you generally want to go out towards the edges. But also, don't quote me on that, because for some reason my memory is really blanking at the moment. If somebody wants to correct me in chat, please do.
I mean, yeah, the edges somewhat work.
Just because like the way that he throws, I think when you're closer to the walls, it just like he doesn't throw as far, so it's like less likely. And I think in SRT it's the other way, where he throws out more to the edges, and if you stay centered, he won't really hit you as much. But don't quote me on any of this. I'm just a guy. I can say whatever I want, you know?
Yeah.
People lie on the internet. Who would have thought? The monkeys. Shout out to Aether.
The monkeys.
Yeah. The way he says the monkeys is really... I don't know if you just already said it and we missed it. I always like going for the skill point in this level. I think it's a fun little thing to do.
Thanks for
Where you just have to hit all the trees.
Yeah, I usually forget to though.
Yeah, it gets you nothing, but I just think it's fun. And this is the second Bombo, and what you'll see we'll do is we kind of skip through this whole first section right here. Oh! Did you get hit by it? It's not. If there's a place to get hit, it's there. That's the best place to be hit by a Bombo. Okay, maybe not twice though.
You're good.
Very difficult place to double jump. If you're looking to get good at flopping double jumps, that wall right there is where you're gonna want to be practicing. It's also good because you'll use.
Oh my lord!
You get hit? Oh, you got hit. That's unfortunate.
All right then, let's go.
I'm getting owned right now.
Ooh, 3. Oof. There's a certain flow to how Bombo throws things where it's just like once you get hit by one, the chance of you getting hit by another just go up like 100%. You know, I'm starting to think this is the game where you want to stay more centered because he throws out more of the edges based on his throwing pattern.
Nah, I don't think so. Like, he does throw to the center. It's just really hard, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. I think SRT kind of knocked down the difficulty on that a little bit. And now we're going to make our way over to the very first room in the level where the final Bombo will spawn. And we will clear it out. Oh, did you get that snipe? Are you crazy,
No.
dude? I thought for sure you got it. Oh, this is where you go when you miss that. That's interesting. I'll have to start doing that. I go to like this weird corner and it never works out. So Bombo will head through this whole level. And in order to advance, Bombo has some checkpoints. So what we end up doing is we finish up the gem collection that's up here. And then we're gonna go into this next room. We're actually gonna do some backtracking just a little bit. Right around where this enemy is, this like little pole right there is usually where I look for. I like run right past that, loop around, and he'll end up coming right behind us in a second. In the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to start the Talisman Cut Scene, in which Bombo will not hit us during this cutscene, but he will run right past us. Then we'll grab a couple gems and finish that up, and then crack that world and on to the next level.
I don't have 100 gems. Not 100 to 400.
Great!
That's unfortunate.
It looks like it's up by the end of that whirlwind, which is hard because there's so many cluttered gems up there. Yeah. Perfect. And we're on to the next one.
Actually, earlier I said... which level did I say was my favorite? Marsh. I feel like Breeze Harbor is like it's close second.
I like the aesthetic of Breeze Harbor as well. Are you gonna go for massless? Can I teach you how to do massless on during this run?
I'll go for it just for you.
Do you want me to explain it to you, or do you want to just like go for it?
No, I'll go for it. I think I know how to do it, it's just hard.
Okay. It's just what? What did you call it?
I mean, it's free.
Thank you. I probably ruined so many people's runs with that. And a lot of multitasking in this level. I keep on saying at the beginning of the level, like, oh, we're gonna do some multitasking, as if like that's not what the whole category is. Here, we're gonna start the mine challenge throughout the level, which we're lucky enough to do without the cannons because we do have the Spyrothon Power Up. And then what you'll see us do is we'll loop around this level a couple times. There is the trolley challenge in this level, and we will not have trouble with the trolley, because we do not even need it. It turns out if you can get up there, even if you're not on the trolley, you can just collect the gears. There's no indicator to know how many you have, but it's okay because we know where they all are, and we're just gonna run through every single one of them no matter what. We don't need to worry about the TNTs or any of the little tricksies that can occur during that. And then we're gonna go talk to the trolley master. I don't know what else to call him at the end when we have all 50 gears, and he'll just award us the orb. Were you trying to TNT proxy right there?
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny.
There's a lot of fun crashes you could do in this level if you swim in air.
Yeah,
and get stat and get hurt by the spikes. Pretty silly. I use the cannon. do you use the cannon for both sets of these
No.
mines? Okay, just interesting.
Thanks.
Okay.
That was a bit slow, but yeah.
Oh, it's fine. We got the job done. Now we got that mine orb, and we're gonna kind of almost loop back to the beginning here. It's a very interesting route. We're gonna loop back to the beginning and get back on to where the trolley would be, and go the other way this time and clear the gears there. Oh, nice little proxy. So there's not a lot of proxy opportunities in this category because typically we would do it using flame to put the enemy into a dying state, but recharging into the clam right there and getting a proxy. If you're looking to learn a proxy and just want to feel good about it and not even necessarily look to speedrun a game, wow, another sick proxy. Let's go. We got Mr. Cool over here. The clam proxy is a very easy proxy just to do on a whim, so I definitely recommend trying out that one.
We safe? No, we're not.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh no! You have to, I think you have to like leave the level now.
Trouble.
No, we can just do the trolley.
There was one. Are you gonna do it on the trolley? Are you gonna do this casually right now?
Well, like, yeah.
Alright. Oh, this will be interesting.
I
Definitely.
honestly feel like this would be faster.
Do you have a route for this?
Kinda.
Okay. I'm just
I have a
letting you know
general
though.
idea where I'm going.
I'm letting you know right now. If I have to hear the words "trouble with the trolley A," I will have an aneurysm. That's
I mean,
all
you
I'm
already
saying.
have.
When did I have one? Did I have an aneurysm today and I just don't remember it?
No. I mean, when you...
Oh, I did hear it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's true. Well, if I have to hear it a second time, I'll have an actual aneurysm. This is, I'm letting you know right now, if I had to do what you were doing, I would not be able to formulate a route that is this smooth.
That was slow.
It was fun though.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta show the casual way for the kids, you know?
Yeah. For the fans.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see if you can do massless. Let me know if you want any tips.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Wow, Rui.
Thanks for.
What do you have to say about that?
It's
What do you-
free.
It's what?
It's free.
Oh, that is not how I do the massless setup, and I was a little worried at first, just because I feel like when you look at the place where you need to land, it's like 10 times harder. But you got that without any issues, because apparently that trick is a lot more free than even I thought it was. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, dude.
I hope I start playing good again.
You've been playing
That's
solid.
kind of sad. Now, this has just been fully cursed, to be honest. Like this whole entire run.
I think it's me.
Yeah, I mean, Fish was going well until...
No, I feel like every single time I'm involved with S2 Hundo at Spyrothon, something goes a little whack. Because I remember last year's run between you and Ladybug being
At the
pretty
end.
cursed as well. Right? What?
At the ends, it's like, I'm not gonna fail this. It fails it.
I think Ladybug's exact quote was, "I'm not stupid, I won't fail this." It was something like that. And then immediately she was like, well, got some bad news. This level is especially scary because, as you all know, it contains a mystery jar, as well as a lot of damage abuse. So the reason why that is concerning is because if we die during this level, then the mystery jar is reset and it adds a lot of time. And Rui's gonna be smart and play it a little safe, get a little fodder here, and not have to worry about the possibility of dying.
No, I just like to have sparks during this section.
Of course.
Okay, never mind. I hate sparks.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's interesting. Usually we would need invisibility to get all these items up here, but instead, with the damage abuse, we kind of disregard all of that and do our own thing. It's entirely possible to do this level without the invincibility power up. That is exactly how we will be doing it. Okay.
I'm gonna be ballsy.
Oh, okay. So you want to hit right in the little, right in the. I don't know. Oh no, Rui, you did the hard part. Oh, you don't have to collect the bones though. So at least you have that going for you. I would get the mystery jars first if I were you.
That's true.
Yeah, I would go back and do that personally.
This
I'm not
is
saying you have
way
to, but
overestimate. I'll be surprised if this is like 220.
That is a wonderful. That is a beautiful quote. If it was shorter, I'd get it tattooed. Not actually, but you know what I mean. That is a cursed quote, Phoenix. Yeah. Marxless just means you get to touch the gems more I don't like that at all. It feels weird. It feels wrong saying out loud. We're gonna collect the last bone. Do we want to watch the bone dance?
Sure.
Everyone, post your favorite dance emote in chat, and if someone could post Pepe D for me, that would be great. Shout out to Zando Toaster. He actually finishes his 100% run on bone dance. And shout out to there's a bone dance run, and I do not remember who's doing it, and I think it's in 3NE. Cat Jam.
Still in, I believe.
Sour, please. Hell yeah. Big fan of Cat Jam. Alright, some of you do not know what a dance emote is. That's fine. This dance, the reignited version. You know what? I do respect the reignited version a lot. Just because, like, I imagine when this game came out, like, the dance moves were very cringe. And we just were too young to really acknowledge that they were cringe. Whereas, like, I'm sure SRT is the same way, where if we were like the age we were when this game came out, we would probably be like, oh look, the guy's flossing, that's so funny. But instead it's just like cringe, you know what I mean? These dinos all are released on a set path, so we're gonna destroy them in the same way as we would every single time. It's
Well done.
It's cool to be able to see Rui just go up to the eggs way before they're gonna hatch and shoot them and flame them and have them be destroyed that way. And with that, we are done with Skelos.
Thank you.
Which is nice.
This level's really fun when it goes well, but when you die like that, it's just...
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think it's the most punishing in the whole game, I'm gonna say. but it's over.
Mm.
And now we're on
Instead, we
to
have another awful level.
Zephyr.
I changed my mind. I hate autumn.
Wait, is it Zephyr? No, are we in Crystal?
Yeah, Crystal.
You think Crystal is awful? I really like this level in 100%. Actually, in every level. I think there's a lot of interesting choices to do. Dying at the end of the trades, absolutely. Absolutely, Dact. You should have said that when you were in the voice chat. I kid.
Dad,
Just-
come back. I need your energy.
Super solid double jump there to start off the level. Usually we'd have to melt a bunch of the people to sling you over, but in the speedrun we just do a bit of a tight double jump. Collect some gems. I think this is one of the very few levels where there's not really any backtracking. We do rush to the end, but either way you kind of need to. I don't think you could start I don't think you could start the challenge just with the enemies that are in the first two rooms. But
No.
that also doesn't sound right in my head, so maybe don't listen to what I'm saying. You don't have enough
No, I
gems
think
to
you're
pay money
correct.
bags. Interestingly enough, there is no money bags here, because we do beat Ripto and then backtrack throughout the game. Oh wait, that was probably a joke because we have 7,000 gems. Huh, that's funny.
I think we need a bit more, to be honest.
Sorry, Spyro. I took it seriously too. Well, at least my gut reaction to seeing that was like, let me be kind and explain what's going on and not to be like, ha! You would think. You know what I mean? And then I like thought it through. I always like the setup of this level of Zephyr. I'm sorry, this level of Autumn Plains where everything kind of mirrors each other. You know what I mean? Like this is like opposite of Skelos, and they're like the same people, but one's like, you know, ice, and the other's like not ice. It's like lava. And then like Zephyr and Breeze are like at war with each other. I just really think that's a fun little detail.
Yeah, the storytelling in this game is kind of cool.
Another interesting thing that we're doing here, I think it's 40 orb. It's faster to do this in reverse, which is weird to think about. But we're gonna destroy all these while doing some gem collection, and that's actually pretty easy with extended range. And then we're gonna do like a little super fly jump here. Which is cool. Usually you would have like a ceiling, but if you like kind of like charge jump in the air, you can bypass that and get super high. Use that to get up to this level, which we see here. His name is George, right?
Can we get some love for George?
Is it George? I'm kind of just pulling that from out of nowhere.
It's George.
I think everyone really likes George. We're all big George fans, and we're just gonna lead him to some food. If this were a GDQ, this would be a good time to read donations, but it's not. So I guess we
sorry,
could just awkwardly talk a little bit.
I've lost all energy at the moment. Like,
No, it's
fully
fine.
dead.
That makes me cringe when people do that, when they jump in that little spot that you shouldn't be able to jump in. I'm surprised there was no like George in S3. Yeah, I would think this George would be like such a loved character.
Mm.
You know? It's Alfredo? Wait, what? There's Farley? Oh, true. Yeah, I guess that's... George got replaced. How sad. But life goes on.
George will always be with us in our memories.
Yeah, and in S2. You
Yeah.
can just boot that game anytime, and George will be right there once you get to Crystal Glacier. And now we have Zephyr. I'm so used to, I like immediately, like, you left that level and the first thing I did was look at your gem count because I'm so used to 40 orb. Not 40 orb. Well, I guess like 14 tally. I was just like, do you have enough gems?
No, dude.
Here we use a similar strat to 14 tally where we're gonna go out of bounds immediately. And you guessed it, we're gonna go to the end of the level and then do it in reverse. Wow, you do the long jump, dude. I'm too much of a scaredy cat to go for that.
This guy.
Good
So we're gonna
sniping
make
on that
the-
balloon.
Yeah, it drops it down for later, so
Yeah,
it's nice.
so nice.
So straight away to the end. And we will need to go to like do it in reverse because there is a base at the end. So we like skipped most of the start just because we had to go through it anyways.
Correct.
But coming up is probably one of the most annoying challenges for anyone who speedruns this game. Calyx. It's really hard because you need to know how to move Spyro.
You know, and it's interesting that that is exactly how you choose to describe why the challenge is difficult. I think a lot of people would go to saying the calyx are unpredictable, but depending on how Spyro is positioned around the calyx, that's how they move. That in combination with how you choose to hit them with either your charge or your fireball will also move them in particular ways. Shoutouts to Shaw 8B. He's not really around in Spyro anymore, but he was world record holder at one point, and he said depending on how good you are at Calyx, that really tells you how good you are at Spyro. Between that and Popcorn, which we'll see later on in the run, but you know, if you're out here blaming random Calyx movement, just know you're totally in control of that, and should definitely watch Shaw. Shaw was very good at Calyx.
Just get them guys out of the way.
Yeah, it's smart. It'd be a little annoying. I hit. Oh. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't fireball that guy, I'm gonna be a little stressed for you. Yeah, you lined it well, and even the double hit. Sometimes, if you hit them when they're close together like that, sometimes the fireball hitbox will hit one of them a little weird. It'll send them in a backwards direction or something a little more undesirable, but you handled that really well. So we have to get these Calyx into this little pen. Obviously the fireball sends them the furthest distance, but it's also a little harder to control, as I was mentioning earlier. So essentially what we're looking to do is just get all of them to the pen as fast as possible. Rui's hitting them in a very specific manner to have them all start walking that way. I think you left one over there.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Unless if I can't count.
No, there's only 4 there.
Yeah, he might be on the lower level of it. Right over in that corner, yeah.
Sneaky little bugger.
I don't understand why, like, games can just use, like, normal fucking animals, you know? Like, why couldn't these just be normal cows? I guess then it would be like you're flaming a cow. But you're gonna need to... Oh yeah, no, you're gonna hit with that. Well, welcome back, Autumn Plains. And you've made it in time for Autumn Plains. The game does use normal... That is true, and the fodder is normal. Right? Because, like, the frogs are normal. The sheep sometimes are normal. Sometimes they wear goggles, which is a little odd. Also, I think it's very weird, Rui, that you didn't go through the fireball power up, even though you don't need it. I always like getting the different color Spyro and hearing the clock tick down. I think it's a good indicator of how well I'm doing with. Ooh, you got that snipe. That was pretty cool. What was I just saying? Oh well. Oh, I like using the timer of the fireball countdown to see how fast I'm doing sheep. Sheep? What? No. Doing calyx.
We're just so exhausted at this point that we don't even know what we're saying.
No, I think I'm just dumb. I could be well rested and I would still be making those kind of mistakes. UFO sheep, that's true. It's not very normal. Just don't ride in UFOs. Or maybe they do. I wouldn't know. Never been in a UFO. Do you think the devs, when they were planning, was that Metropolis, do you think they were just like, alright, so in... It'd be so funny. The devs are just like, alright, so in the UFOs, we're gonna put horses. And somebody was just like, a horse in a UFO? That would never happen. And then they were like, what about lizards? And they were like, no, lizard would never be in a UFO. And then eventually they were like, sheep? And everyone in the room was just like, you know what? I think a sheep would be in a UFO.
It just makes the most sense, you know?
It really does. Careful, we need to get everything done before the Super Flame downgrades to a normal Super Flame. Flying sheep is boomer humor? You know, if that's boomer humor, then I kind of maybe like boomer humor a little bit more than I would have expected. Marsh? Robotica? No. We actually, boomer% milk, I'm timing you out for that one, man. I actually cannot time you out from the Twitch pop out, but if I could, oh wait, no, I can. Let's see, I'm Alexander Toaster. Can I do it for 1 second? I timed him out for 10 minutes. Oops. Can someone unban him? Oh, okay, there we go. I think I'm having too much fun with this. Oh, the last level is in fact AC Peak. Icy Peak? No, that's S3. Icy Speedway. They use the word icy too much. There's Icy Peak,
Icy Flight.
Icy Flight, Icy, Speedway.
That's not a real level, by the way.
It's not. I believed you. I believed you so hard, Rui. You abused that. I trusted you, and you just were like, I'm gonna use this to make Tooper sound dumb. Yeah. Yes, it does end with rings. Ice Cavern? Is that a real level? Wait, is it or is it not a real level?
It's not. Is it?
Rui, we both speedrun that game, how do we not know? I've played that game like 100 times.
Man, I don't know.
Toaster, Zando, I want you to know, I do not know which Homeworld Dreamweavers is. That means nothing to me. S1 level names? I can't, man. I don't know any of them. A nice Allura warp there, so what happens with Allura in this? just looking to go back to talking about the speedrun. Anyway, Allura will warp you to the next level. If you talk to her after she doesn't have anything left to say, it's important. And we use that because where she warps you to is wherever you need a tally. So we use it there to warp us up over here. Like, Chad's bullying us so hard right now. AC ball. Jesus Christ. I'm dying. I want to talk about the run so badly, but I'm being bullied too hard.
So, Fracture's Hills.
Fracture Hills is another fun level.
Yeah.
The Philosopher. You mean the Alchemist? Yes, that is what you mean. So actually, the Alchemist is really interesting in this level because, as you can tell, we can just like flame these guys and they die automatically because we have the fireball. So what we do is we destroy them all, then we talk to this guy, and then we're gonna kind of just go off and do other things while he walks around like an idiot, essentially. I think it's really funny to just watch him like not be able to walk into a straight line, especially because there's no interruptions anywhere. I did not sign up to commentate Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage 100% to be bullied by Chad. I just want everyone to know that, and this is what's happening right now.
This is Spyro 2. I've never played Spyro 1 in my life, so don't look at my speedrun.com. It doesn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny to think about, because if somebody were to come up to me and be like, oh, you speedrun Spyro 1? It would be so hard for me to prove that without a video. I wouldn't be able to say anything about it. Like, I don't know. You know? What's your favorite level? The Artisans? I don't know. That's one of 4 levels I can say. Oh, and then since the second part of that orb is destroying all the giant dudes, but since we already did that, we can just talk to Hunter immediately. And he does this weird, like, walking animation for 2 seconds and then gives us the orb. That was almost very bad. I thought for sure you would get yourself killed there.
Don't worry,
but
it's
we're good.
calculated.
Yeah, for sure. And then we do a nice little fun thing here where we destroy these 2 satyrs at the same time. So that way we only have to sit through 1 cutscene.
We also did that at the start. It just helps speed things up a little bit.
True.
So you don't have to watch the cutscenes.
Yeah, I think we were a little busy, preoccupied with being
Icy
tired.
bug.
Yeah, icy bug.
Icy Stone Hill, dude, hell yeah. That's the most optimal place for Tuco to take you. Trust. Okay, so Magma Cones next. I get kind of scared when doing this level. Just because,
Yeah?
sorry, I'm just thinking, on the PAL version, the big guys in this level, you can't actually kill them with a fireball.
Oh.
So, I get a little nervous sometimes, thinking,
that's right,
don't have enough souls, sort of thing.
So you actually, like, learned this game first on PAL, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate. Glad you switched over. PAL Spyro games are just objectively
earlier
worse.
I suggested to people to like never play on PAL, but I don't know. I feel like it's cool when people just sort of run on their own thing.
Yeah, for sure. I do feel like PAL though is a little less fun.
Mm. A lot of people get disheartened, sort of like comparing times, sort of thing. So they think, oh, I need like the fastest version, the fastest console,
True.
and whatnot. You don't really need it. Like, just have fun with speedrunning.
Just have fun with speedrunning. That's the truest words I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, look
Do
at
the
this
thing,
run.
man.
It's going awful, but you know,
I'm having fun.
we're smiling.
Chat, press 1. Press 1 if you're having a good time right now. I'm gonna start that off.
And press 1 if you're not.
I'll give you.
Dang, a lot of people enjoying themselves.
We'd love to see it. Wait. Oh no, somebody said wait. Somebody did not listen to the instructions, is now panicking.
The game's pretty fun.
Alright, who's typing ice in chat? You know, the next week, I'm just gonna hear the word ice and I'm gonna start dying of laughter, and we're gonna have to explain that to people. Popcorn is complete RNG, and it's another thing Shaw always goes to say, you know, good people at Spyro are good at that challenge. But if you're bad, you just kind of follow around Hunter and snipe all of his goals.
So would you say that was good gameplay there?
I mean, you didn't lose, so yeah.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Don't. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna run around this level in a silly little circle to do some gem collection.
Spyro's just gonna play around a little bit, get some gems, you know?
Yeah. Is AC real or fake?
It's fake, dude.
No, that's actually a real one, I think.
No. It's fake. It's icy altars and frozen peak.
So, again, this is another challenge that is made a billion times easier by having Fireball. I'm just gonna go through and essentially just like fly directly into every single enemy, and maybe don't do that.
Oh my god.
Definitely don't do it. That is not the correct way of doing that. But I promise you it is easier. It's just gonna fly around.
I'm just bad at video game.
Fly around and kill these guys. And at the end, he's gonna go for a cutscene sequence break that will hopefully skip a cutscene.
You have too much hope in me, Tuber.
I believe in you more than I believe in, I don't know, Santa Claus?
Damn.
Let's see.
Wait, that was quick.
That was, I don't know what happened there. You know what, I think it was because you were so close to him. Run icy percent? That, I will do that one day. I will do an icy OG trilogy run where I just go directly to every level that has the word icy in it. That actually wouldn't be too bad, right?
Depends.
And then I guess I would have to 100% all the levels too.
If you treat it like how you treat like Vortex and whatnot in Mal cheats, then I imagine it's not too bad, but...
Icy percent milk.
What's the time we're at the moment?
158.32.
158.32.
Yeah,
what?
so I think
oh wait, no. Oh, so I'm gonna end on like 205.
yeah,
That's not even that bad.
No.
Damn.
And I think that really shows you the power of routing.
So much has gone wrong. I don't understand.
No, I mean, like, really, like, though, like, so much of this, like, really does come down to, like, the routing in this game is so powerful. Like, knowing exactly how to use double jumping to get you where you need to go fast is, like, where so much time save comes from. As well as, like, extended sparks. Like, other games, like, missing a gem would be so much more detrimental, but you kind of have, like, this very good idea of what to do and how to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Ah.
Whoa, what was that? You got a little damage boost there. In this category, this level is pretty boring, if you ask me, because it does have this, like, what do you call it? Like, escort mission feel to it, where you kind of have to walk in a straight line for the whole level.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad because there are proxies in this level that can get you to the end pretty fast, but you just don't get the opportunity to use them.
Yeah.
In pretty much any category.
Yeah, and in case anyone is wondering, there have been a lot of I want to say studies, but like people have looked into it, and unfortunately, unless you like go through the level the intended way, you can't really grab the tally. Ooh, that's a rough one.
It's fine. Just smile.
Smile.
Can we get some positive vibes?
Positive vibes in chat. I'll do it. I think we have been very positive though. This has been fun. This is a good time.
Spyro.
This was just a normal run. I would probably stop by now.
Thanks for helping.
But that's
But
the
you
power
know.
of Spyrothon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it before we hopped on. The goal of every run in this event is to finish, and gosh darn it, we are gonna finish. So now we spawn these thieves, and there's some pretty specific points you can kind of just stand at and get them without needing to start their running animation.
Might eat.
So, very fun fact about what goes on here. Drast and Shaw apparently were watching someone play this casually, and were just like, hey, apparently if you like head bash, like they come out faster. That's the only reason why we only head bash one enemy is because they watched someone playing casually, and they were like, you know what, I think it's a little fast.
You learn so much from watching people that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's so funny, so silly. You have all these people who like probably know every corner of the game, and at that point in time, they were just like, "Oh, you could just head bash, and that's slightly faster." And it's such an easy time save too. This comes from looking into it just like a tiny bit. So he's gonna get that. Ooh, and hit phase with a no
Thanks for
scope.
bringing.
I was gonna think you were doing something else there. You did not. And the last part of this level is just gem collection. And we do, as always, end up back pretty much at the beginning of the level. Leaving us with the last level in the run, which will be Speedway. I think ending the run on a Speedway is kind of a little silly. Something about it feels very anticlimactic. It's not even like a normal level.
But I don't know. It's kind of fun.
It's absolutely fun.
I mean, you end Spyro 3 on SPR. Like, that level sucks. This level,
Yeah, but at least
kind of cool.
if I could end the run anywhere, where would I end it? Honestly, probably right after Glimmer. I would just turn the game off.
Yeah.
There's an early era that ended on a random gem in Idle Springs. That's really funny. At least we got that sorted out. So it's interesting though, right? Because technically speaking, the way that you end...
I scuffed that up so much.
Ah, you're fine. You'll just go around and get it. Because the way the timing works in this category, right, is you end on the end of the orb get animation, or whatever the last collectible is, but it's totally possible to die before you get the orb animation. So technically the game would never end. And I know Drash for a while was just like, what if I got like a really good time while doing that? And then it became this like giant like discussion of where do we end time for this run? But decided not to do it because it would also be a little slow. And figuring out the logistics of that would be a little weird. Actually, probably not. It would probably end on one of the works in Breeze. It's really easy to do that with. Or maybe in Scorch. Scorch has that same thing going on. It's not too difficult to pull off. And we're up to rings. These rings are exactly the same, so we're just gonna just go through this relative ease. On the get of the last orb, we will say the word time. That will be the end of this lovely journey of Spyro 2 100%. I personally had a really great time commentating this. Hopefully it was fun for you all as well.
I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah, I believe in you.
It's not impossible to mess up, but
A lot
like,
of the skill points I think in this game are pretty free.
and time.
GG, and that is a 2:06:04. Probably a little bit better than that, honestly, because we did start time at start game. So this is in the 2:05 range. Big GG to Rui. Shoutouts to you. It's always really fun to have Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage 100% here because it's honestly such a broken game. Did you check the guidebook to see if you got everything? I think you did, but...
I don't even want to check, to be honest, because
Okay,
if I
that's
did
fair.
miss anything, I wish not to know.
Okay, I respect it. Thank you for playing the credits for those of you who are in the chat who would like to see that at the end of runs. Rui, is there anything you'd like to say? Any shoutouts you'd like to make?
Shoutouts to Zachary Lawrence, I guess, because like I did learn a lot of the routes from him. He's gonna probably hate me for saying that because he's gonna watch this run and be like, "What the hell is he doing?" But I don't know. And just like any of the friends like I've made like throughout speedrunning, is like kind of cool to run with people, sort of thing. I don't know. It really motivates me. And you should just have fun with it, like
For
just
sure.
now, sort of thing.
Yeah, dude. Speedruns aren't always pretty, but they can always be fun, and that's a good attitude to have. But thank you so much for doing this. Up next, we're going to have Spyro Reignited Trilogy 3, any percent done by Sir Boris, so be sure to stick around for that. We're going to try and do a quick transition here, just to keep on track with schedule. But thanks everyone for sticking around, and we'll see you in that next run in a bit.